Okay, welcome everyone to In the Know with Cat Bobino. Sorry for starting off so late. We had some technical difficulties, but we are going ahead and getting started. So joining us tonight is going to be Ronnie Thomas. He is out in Georgia and he has his own show called Fun Weird Science. And Ronnie, you want to say hello?
Peace, family. How's everybody doing?
Oh man, things are great. So it looks like we are
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Awesome.
I don't think
Hello,
so.
everybody.
I think you only do it from the phone. That's the problem.
What is this background sound that's going on? Oh, I think something like in Facebook is.
All right, y'all. We were practicing. We're about to get started.
Why do I hear?
So please join.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you hear that? I feel like I hear another thing. Oh my God, this has been a rough start, but it's okay. We are gonna go ahead and get started. All right. So what Ronnie, give us a little bit of background on what you've been doing, how you got started, and talk to us about Fun Weird Science.
So Fun Weird Science is the culmination of a 20-year teaching career. I recently resigned from teaching this past school year. Around my 5th year into teaching, I kind of got burnt out and frustrated, and I almost left teaching to go drive trucks as a way to earn more money. And it was around that time I began going to workshops to kind of build my own skill set. I would go to the workshops and conferences and come back and bring those things to my classroom, and the children would go crazy. So it became a high trying to recreate that same level of excitement. And, I started to realize that there were other teachers that weren't teaching science in that way that got the kids excited about learning.
Right.
So I started going to different conferences to present, to show teachers how to make science engaging and come to life. And from there, Fun Weird Science was born. So Fun Weird Science is a K-12 STEM or STEAM engagement company. We work with teachers to help them build their efficacy, which is their ability to implement STEM or STEAM. And we also provide a variety of different programs for K-12 students.
Wow, that is a lot.
Yeah.
And so this all came about from your teaching career and everything that you learned from that?
Yeah. I just took things that worked really well in my classroom and wrote it into a business model.
Okay.
And this is the first school year that we've been doing it at the same time while teaching for the last 5 years. But now we're pursuing Fun Weird Science full time.
And so who is we? Who joining you?
So I say we, Fun Weird Science, they're different facets of the company. The company I am the face of the company for the majority of the part, but for certain aspects. So, we have a YouTube channel called Fun Weird Science and Spaghetti, where we encourage families to eat dinner together because we get busy in our work schedule.
Right.
And we tend to run and rip and get fast food and not have time to make conversations. Or at least that's what I experienced in my family. So we started a YouTube channel show to encourage families to eat dinner together. Okay. And while you're having dinner together, to incorporate science. So when I say we, from that aspect, it's my family, my wife and our 3 children. And then I also have 2 other business partners that come in and support, depending on what type of function that we're doing.
Okay. Well, that sounds amazing. And so I think it's very important to me to point out that your wife is joining you on your as your partner in crime, basically, to help you with Fun Weird Science. This is like a family affair, and you guys are all doing it together. So how did that come about that you guys decided to make it a family thing?
So, because teaching does not provide the most money,
right?
Over the years, I've had to work a variety of different jobs. At one point, I was teaching school. I would come home. I had a lawn care service.
Oh, wow.
I would come home and cut grass. Friday evening, I also DJ. So I would DJ Friday night, or go get up Saturday morning and cut grass, or go do tutoring, and then come back and DJ Saturday night.
Right.
And then sleep on Sunday. And my wife was like, she'd rather have me here at home and, not burning myself out opposed to trying to work all these different jobs. So over the years, she's encouraged me to kind of focus my energy on certain things and letting other things go so I can have more time to be here with the family. So Fun Weird Science was a great business venture because it allowed the family to participate in that as well. So we go out and we do expos, we vend, or we go out and do birthday parties, or there are more opportunities for the family to all be a part of Fun Weird Science compared to my other business ventures in the past.
Well, that's amazing. I'm that's honorable. I would like to hopefully have my partner in crime join me, and we don't have to punch in, but do our own thing together. So
yes.
I am definitely going to steal your thunder with that. But I will give you credit.
Go ahead.
So I just want to take a pause for the moment. You're listening to In the Know with Kat Bobino. My extra special guest is Ronnie Thomas from Georgia. We also do the podcast Facebook Live. So I want to say thank you to everyone who is watching. If you have questions for myself or for Ronnie, go ahead and type them in. I can see them. And I do want to say thank you to Melissa. She is watching and listening from sunny, sciencey Sydney, Australia. So welcome, Melissa. And I'm just going to throw in that Melissa's going to have to be on the show in the near future. So Melissa, join us. But we're talking to Ronnie about his business. It's Fun Weird Science. He's been doing it for 5 years alongside as being a teacher, a science teacher. But however, this school year, Ronnie and his family has decided to do Fun Weird Science as a full-time profession. And it is you, Ronnie, your wife, and your children, plus some business partners. So can you tell us some of the things that we might see if we were to go to your expo or anything at that?
Yeah, so at the expos, we're just pretty much providing like a hands-on introduction to the event attendees, just to let them know who we are. But what we offer, we provide online classes where we ship the materials to our students, and then we meet in a virtual classroom. Here in Atlanta, we do have face-to-face camps. We have Saturday camps and we have summer camps.
Right.
We also go into the school and provide an interactive science show, like a school assembly type setup. And we go into the classroom and teach lessons that align to the standard. And we do teacher workshops to show them different ways to make their standards come alive.
Right.
We have a science kit. You can visit our site. We have a science kit you can order, and we're in the process of finishing up some books and a monthly subscription box. Yeah, so there are a lot of different facets to Fun Weird Science. We also have the Fun Weird Borderless Science, where we travel to other countries and we engage communities. So to date, we've been to Ghana, we've been to Costa Rica and Guatemala to engage communities in STEM.
Well, that's amazing. So when you are going to these different countries to engage them in STEM, are these mostly universities? Are these different organizations that you're joining in? So how are you going about it when you join with in other countries?
So it varies. Like right now, we're just word of mouth, and we're reaching out to different family and friends and colleagues that we know with connections in these countries. So when we went to Guatemala, we went to enroll our children in a Spanish school. A good friend of mine, Ashley Scott, has a company called Iberi Tours, where he leads travel tours, mainly aimed at people of color to make travel accessible to them. So he goes to Guatemala twice a year. He's been going for a number of years, where he learns Spanish and he teaches English in return. So while our children were there learning Spanish, we were able to connect with the local nonprofit organization to provide a variety of different workshops and engagements for the teachers and the students in the area called San Pedro Laguna.
Wow. So on top of teaching science, you're teaching your kids Spanish. That's amazing. How long were you guys there for the Spanish lesson and /STEM tour?
So we were there for 2 weeks. It was an amazing opportunity. We went through the San Pedro Spanish School
Mm-hmm.
by way of Ashley Scott and the Berry Tours. But the children had one-on-one lessons every day. We
Wow.
stayed with the host family, and so we were pretty much immersed. San Pedro Laguna sits on Lake Atchison, which some would say is the most beautiful lake in the world. So to
Wow.
be immersed in that small community for those 2 weeks and having a chance for the kids to reinforce the usage of that language was
Right.
amazing. Right.
So I'm jealous. I'm just gonna put that out there. I know I'm not a part of the Thomas family, but next trip, if there's room
Yes.
for one more, maybe two. I don't know if my
Indeed.
partner will come. But one more, I would definitely want to be a part of that.
Hey, come on.
Okay. That's awesome. So can you, Ronnie, give us a little bit of background? Like, how did you even get into being a science teacher?
So my degree is in general elementary education. So like I told you earlier, around my 5th year, I almost left to go drive trucks.
Right.
But I had a colleague, Pat Poulis, who taught science, like hands-on science.
Uh-huh.
So watching her and watching the excitement that the children would have to go to her class was a very big inspiration. So my first few years of teaching education or teaching in education, I was a self-contained teacher where I taught multiple subjects.
Mm-hmm.
But around that 3rd or 4th year or so, I was able to start to hone in on just science and just seeing the excitement, man, in the kids' eyes to be able to do science. I think like a lot of our schools around that time, the focus was like on math and ELA.
Right.
So teachers weren't even teaching science. So, the kids were just missing out on so much. And when you let kids do science and engage on it in a hands-on way, it helps to cut down on a lot of the other classroom behaviors that we tend to want to, not have so much of.
Right.
So I always say science saved my life in regard to my educational life.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. I'm glad that was an option for you. So, but it's one of those things that I like to point out that even in science, tech, engineering, or math, there's no direct pathway. So, so for yourself, you were going in as a general ed. However, science found you, or you found science, and you started to do it that way.
Correct.
Well, that's amazing. And I'm glad you're shouting out the people who are helping you along the way. Like, we need those people in our corners.
Indeed.
Right. They're the ones who show us where we need to go, where we need to go, but what some of the things that we may not have known was out there and how to experience it.
So I definitely recommend all new teachers or first few year teachers. I did my master's paper on teacher attrition, and it showed how teacher burnout takes place within the first 5 years. So I highly recommend new teachers or prospective teachers to link up with those veteran teachers that have a positive disposition in your school and pick their brains and learn as much as you can from them.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So if we were to, let's say, if you were in studio, I know you're on the other side of the nation right now, but if you were in studio, what's some of the things that we could see, like some of the science projects?
Oh yeah, so we would do the whooshing bottle with you all, where we create a internal combustion inside of a 5-gallon plastic bottle, and the way that works, we put in alcohol, liquid alcohol, to be exact, and when we drop a match in, the alcohol vapor and the oxygen, because the space, the top of the bottle has a very narrow opening. So as the air is being forced out of the bottle, air is also being sucked in from that internal combustion, and that whooshing effect continues to happen until all the alcohol is evaporated. So we would do that. We would probably do the Diet Coke and Mentos to represent the chemical reactions and making the tie-in to Old Faithful at Yellowstone National Park.
Right.
We would probably do Burning Money to show you how water can help coat a bill and prevent it from burning when it's been dipped into a solution of alcohol and water. We would probably do flash paper. There's a variety of different things that we do here in Georgia. There's a big buzzword called phenomena in the schools, and it encourages teachers and students to look at the things that happen in the world around them, whether it be man-made or a natural event. But these things in our world that cause us to like be in awe and wonder, like, what's the science behind that?
Right.
So we use our science show and demonstrations kind of, to hook the children in.
Right.
And then we can dive deep into the content and the vocabulary and kind of extrapolate those skills in that area.
Well, that's really cool. So we're in studio. What a rug. So I highly doubt that my producer would allow you to do the Mentos and Coke one. That would have to be.
But we did it. We did it at the Weather Channel.
Oh, you did?
The look on their faces. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we do when we're in spaces like that, we just limit the amount of Mentos candy that we put into the tube.
Right.
And then that will, give you a lesson reaction. But yeah, the people's face, those technicians inside the studio at the Weather Channel, they were very nervous.
I bet. There's some of the experiments that I want to do when I go and do talks with students and stuff that I'm like, well, maybe not, because getting soda everywhere or not alcohol, but like the foam. I like to do the elephant's toothpaste.
Yeah, toothpaste. Yeah.
But maybe I will try it again.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, they got janitors, right?
Some of our favorite foods are messy, right?
Absolutely.
And we really enjoy eating those, right? So science and learning, there's nothing wrong with making a mess.
Right.
When children are able to learn, if the cost of a child learning something is some spilled soda,
I think they'll survive.
By all means, spill that soda.
Right. Well, so let me take this moment again. Say you're listening to In the Know with Kat Bobino. We have Ronnie Thomas with Fun Weird Science on the podcast, but we're also Facebook Live. I do see quite a few people are watching. I will encourage you to like and share this video. The more you like, the more you share, the more people will see it and more people we can have on. Also, go ahead and ask a question. You can ask a question for both Ronnie or I. We're on two different parts of the nation. So, there's some things happening in California that's not happening in Georgia or vice versa that you might want to be interested in. Or some of these science projects that we're talking about, if you're interested in it and we want to learn more, just let us know. But going back to you, Ronnie, I just wanted to ask you, what do you think is on the horizon for Fun Weird Science?
Fun Weird Science, we would travel the world. I really have a deep desire to live abroad. But at the moment, my family is in position to pick up and leave like that.
Right.
But it's kind of been, I kind of have the best of both worlds right now. I've joined an international consultancy.
Okay.
That will help market me around the world. So, our ultimate goal is to build our online classes. We are looking at having a physical location here in Atlanta, but we also, to travel the world and work with different communities. We have a 501c3 that kind of arches over Fun Weird Science. It's called the Georgia Science and Robotics Academy.
Okay.
So, we just want to, I consider myself to be contagious, right? With this passion, this infectious passion for STEM.
Okay.
And I just want to spread it to as many people as possible.
Right. Well, that's something that maybe you and I need to talk about offline, because that's something that I'm really interested in myself, is the travel aspect and spreading the world of science. So, but I want to do it. I want to film it. So I'm in the process of doing my own nonprofit. I already have my business. In the Know with Kat. In the Know Consulting is my LLC. However, I am in the process of doing my 501c3. And what I want to do is STEM communications. So be able to film some of the different careers, diversity, and when it comes to science, tech, engineering, math, and be able to share that with students and even teachers, professors, things like that, to say, hey, geology isn't just rocks, it's volcanoes, it's glaciers, it's, sediments, it's microorganisms that was in the
Yes.
deep ocean. Like there's so many parts to geology. Or biology is not just the study of one thing. You can study animals, you can study plants, you can study ecosystems, you can study humans. There's so many different things that you can do with STEM. So that's what I am doing. So Ronnie, we gonna talk more. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Let's do it. I also have a desire to do that too. I've always had like this reading rainbow idea, right? To where you go
Right.
and go and film science
Right.
on location. So
Mm-hmm.
here in Atlanta, I'm going to like now my biggest adversary has just been time. But now
Right.
that I've freed myself from a restricted daily schedule,
Mm-hmm.
now I'll be able to have time to go out and bring those things into fruition. So
Well, that's
yeah,
really awesome.
we definitely have to have a conversation
Right.
because there's a lot of synergy.
It is.
And
There's
there's
a lot of
there's an
synergy.
African proverb that says you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. So
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah. I'm just amazed at all the things you're doing. And if you're just joining us, Ronnie is doing not only doing Fun Weird Science as his career, but he's doing it with his family. This is a family affair. And I know that sometimes when I push business with students, because I said, who's going to say no to a kid walking up to you? You can be selling cupcakes, ties, whatever, but if a kid says it, 9 times out of 10, an adult's going to buy it. So
oh yeah.
do you find that to be true? Doing this with your kids, like, are they really into it, and other kids and adults are getting into it because of your children?
Yeah, they are. So and that's another thing that we're looking to do. I try to step away and let their face be out there.
Right,
So especially with like a lot of our YouTube shows, I have them in the forefront because if kids are watching it, they're gonna more likely going to relate to them
right,
more so that they will relate to me. So yeah, people, because so the other side of that coin is because people that look like me have been so negatively portrayed on a more consistent
yes,
basis in
yes,
society. Everyone, it's always been like a very overwhelmingly positive reaction. Just a melanated family, that's encouraging kids to get excited about learning science and STEM.
right. And I think that's awesome, and it's one of those things that hopefully we're able to push ourselves, like have our community be our backbone when it's coming
Yeah,
to doing something with science, tech, engineering, and math. And then if you're doing it as a family, that's showing that family dynamic, that's showing how to be a village. And so I'm loving it.
yeah. We're trying to redefine for ourselves. Like, a narrative has already been created for us that kind of limits us into boxes of like athletics and entertainment. And
Right.
those things are great. But as I'm standing outside right now, looking to the sky at the Big Dipper, right? And I
Oh,
think
man.
about how ancient Kemetic people built pyramids that were aligned with the stars. So
Right.
when I'm working with children, and my programs are geared toward everybody, but I have a special interest in reminding children that look like me that you're supposed to do great in STEM because you have an ancestral connection already. You come from a group of people that created math and science and writing and did
Right.
astrology at very high levels. So, I consider it to be like one of my life missions to help them remember that.
Well, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. I think that a lot of the things that I do in science and tech, engineering, math, so all of STEM, is to show students that there are people who look like you, who come from your background, that has had some of the same hardships you've had. They're there, whether they black, brown, green, orange, purple. There's someone who looks like you and someone who has fought the good fight in order for you to be able to take these classes, to get
Yeah,
these degrees, to learn and become a professional.
yeah. And these skills, like, one thing I like about STEM, like, everybody's not going to be a rocket scientist.
Right.
But one thing that we see in our society, we have lots of smart people, but these smart people, as we've
Uh-oh. Looks like I lost Ronnie for a second. I'm not sure if he hung up or maybe lost signal. But yeah, we're you're listening to In the Know with Cat Bobino, and we are talking to Ronnie Thomas, who is the founder of Fun Weird Science. And Ronnie, we're going to call him right now. So that's what you hear is the ringing. So I'm not sure what happened. We're going to get him
Hello?
back.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh man, I didn't know I lost you. I was talking too.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm just sitting here and then I heard doo-doo, and you were gone.
Yeah, but I was just saying that, the cool thing about engaging kids in STEM, it helps them develop those soft skills because everybody won't be a rocket scientist.
Right.
But we have lots of smart people in our society now, but many of those people lack the ability to work in teams. They lack communication. They lack the social skills. So engaging kids in STEM and the critical thinking piece, like, these approaches to learning will help them to be able to solve problems in other areas in our community and in our world.
Right. And when I talk to students and adults as well, I like to show them that science is attainable, and it's just the verbiage that they use in science and tech, engineering, and math, all of it actually, is the verbiage that they use that makes it scary. However, once you really dive into the facts behind it, it's not scary. It's everyday life.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. One of my business partners, who happens to be my first cousin, his name is Eric Williams, and he went to school. He went to public school here in Atlanta, Georgia. He went to Georgia Tech on a scholarship and majored in electrical and mechanical engineering. So, I consider him to be like the poster child for Fun Weird Science, because I like to show the children that you have a much greater chance of being someone like him than you do, being LeBron James, or there's so many career opportunities.
Right.
Just trying to show our kids, kids are going to aspire to be what they see.
Right.
So just showing the kids that you have so many options. Like, there's nothing wrong with pursuing sports and entertainment, but there are so many other viable options that you have a much greater chance of obtaining those career paths.
Absolutely.
But Eric, like I said, he invented a robotic bartender called Mansoor. And then he came back and invented an app for the Sonos speakers.
Right.
That his app allows you to talk through the speakers like a PA system, and it also is a notification system. If your phone's on silent and you have a very important phone call, then you will be notified through the speakers. But I'm sure at some point those concepts were intimidating to him.
Right.
But
but he pursued. He kept going.
Pursue it.
Yeah.
Perseverance. Every summer, all the college kids that may be listening, make sure you're doing an internship in your field every summer.
Yes.
Because that's where you learn and get to fine tune those skills. But I'm sure, the things you do the most are the things you're going to do the best.
Right.
So I know, like to your point, these concepts and skills, they seem like very intimidating, but like I say, once you have immersed yourself in it on a consistent basis, then it becomes more digestible.
Right. Absolutely. And just breaking down some of what we see in science, I like to tell them, the scientific method is something you probably do all day. You see someone that you're interested in and you're wondering if you can get a date. That's your hypothesis.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Is this person going to say yes? No, you got the question. Your experiment is just going up to them.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
I never thought about that. That's a very good example.
Right. Then you get your results and your conclusion. Your result is yes, no. Your conclusion, you walk away or you got a date.
And you go back and analyze the dates.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So there you go. You did your scientific. I see people. I mean, I'm in a relationship now, but when I was single forever, that hypothesis happened to me a lot at bars and stuff. It was somebody who was like, let me try. Most of the time it was a negative result, but you learn from your no's and your negatives.
Hey, all you need is that one yes.
That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need in life too. Like everyone, we all have dreams. We all have goals. And there's going to be times where you get those no's, but you get that one yes.
So, and to your point, I was watching A&E the other day, and they had a quick commercial that came on about Stephen King, and it talked about how he submitted all of these these drafts, for movie and book ideas. Like he kept getting no. He just kept getting no. And then he started writing a story about this girl in high school who was kind of isolated and ostracized, and then he didn't like it. He threw it away. His wife went in the trash can and found it and read it and encouraged him to keep writing. And that ended up being, I think it's called Carrie or Carrie.
Oh.
It ended up being like his first big hit.
Right.
But had he gave up, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't have had, all these great works that he's produced.
That he has done over the years, and that's the thing, is we never know who's listening. We never know who is paying attention, who's going to share our story, who is going to be that person who opens the door for our next, points in life. So I always encourage people to share what it is you want, share what it is that you're trying to do, because someone you're talking to today, 6 months from now, might be in a meeting about funding, and they're like, oh, you know what? I met someone who's doing exactly that. Let me get their info.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. But my goal with the podcast and with everything is just to encourage people that there's more to what society tells us we are supposed to do.
Indeed. I think it's a great thing that you're doing, because we just need more content.
We do.
I scroll through Netflix, and I'm so close to canceling this membership, because like every tile that shows a movie of a person that looks like me is either going to be a very religious movie or a movie that's centered around gangs or drugs or violence.
Right.
It's like we're inundated with all these negative images.
Right.
And propaganda, and then we end up being, sometimes believing that stuff ourselves.
Right.
So as much positive content as possible that we can put back into the atmosphere, the better. So I think what you're doing is great, and I wish you continue to grow with what you're doing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. So I know we kind of started late, but I do have to end a little bit. So this might be one of the shorter podcasts, but I wanted to let you give an opportunity for you to say what you want to say as like a last word about you, about your program. What did people need to know? What's something that you want everyone to have a part of?
I just want everybody to know that, there's a person out here that has a strong passion, a deep passion that he's eager to share with individuals around the world. And if I'm calling on the universe for your support. Yes,
love it.
So I would invite people to visit my website. It's funweirdScience.com. That's FUNWEIRD. Science.com. We're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fun Weird Science. And our YouTube channel is Fun Weird Science TV.
Wow. Okay. And if there's anyone who's interested in getting in touch with you, is there a particular social media that they should hit up?
We're very active on Facebook and Instagram. We're trying to increase our activity on Twitter.
Okay.
On our website, there's a contact us section on there as well, and it comes right to me. But Facebook and Instagram are our most active areas.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ronnie, for being a part of the show tonight. I know it's kind of 3-hour difference, so thank you for staying up and dealing with our technical difficulties tonight.
My pleasure. It's an honor. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and we'll talk. We'll talk more offline. See how we can collaborate.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll be out that way.
Oh yes. Well, I will see you in October, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
All right. You have a good rest of the night.
All right. Same to you. Thank you for everybody that participated in making this happen tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, goodness gracious, everyone. That was a lot to transpire tonight. Sorry that we got started, but we are going to still do this every single Wednesday at 6:30. Make sure you join us with Facebook Live. And we are going to have some very interesting ladies for the next couple of episodes. So make sure you tune in. Also, make sure that you have questions ready. We got women who have started their own business. We have founders. We have people in engineering. All of them is coming up in the next couple of weeks. Also, if you or anyone you know is in science, tech, engineering, or math and would like to be a part of the show, you can call in or you can be my guest and sit right here. So just let me know where you want to, what you might want to do, and especially if you want to be a part of it. Now, some of you may or may not know, I've been doing a lot of this science and media for a couple of years now, and a lot of it has been straight from me own pocket. So if you are interested in donating to help me keep this going, to keep the podcast, keep the TV, keep media going as far as dealing with science, tech, engineering, math, I do have a GoFundMe page. That information is definitely on my Facebook. It's on my Instagram. I can send you an email if you need the link, but all of that is there. So any donation, even if it's $5, I know money is tight, but any donation would be amazing. And I would be so thankful. Also, if you can just share, like and share these videos, the GoFundMe page, anything that we're doing when it comes to science, tech, engineering, and math, just be in the know. And go ahead and share these videos and these information. But I want to thank everyone who joined us on Facebook Live. I want to thank Ronnie Thomas calling in from Georgia. I want to thank, make sure you check out his webpage, In the Know. I'm not in the know. That's my webpage. Duh. Make sure you check out his webpage, which is funweirdscience.com, and support him, right? Check out his stuff. Go to his, if you're out there in the Georgia area, or if you're going to be where he is, go to his events. Be a supporting face. Just say, yes, we want more positive things that we see in science. So I want to say good night to everyone. Make sure you join us next Wednesday.